welcome back to my channel Biopulse, and this is Chandrika. Today is the day 11 of our series Complete Biology MCQ in 40 days. Today we are starting one of the most interesting and scoring chapter of botany, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Have you ever wondered how a tiny seed grows into a complete plant? How flower, which looks so beautiful, actually play a very crucial role in reproduction? So, in this chapter, we are going to uncover the entire journey from formation of pollen grains to fertilization and finally to seeds and fruit formation. Don't worry if it sounds complicated right now. I'm going to make it super simple, logical, and easy to remember with tricks and shortcuts. So, let's dive into the amazing world of plant reproduction where every flower has a story to tell. So, here comes the first question of this story, that is, the end product of sexual reproduction is or are the end production of sexual reproduction or the end products of sexual reproduction is or are A. Fruit, B. Seeds, C. Flower. Here the right option is D. A. Both A and B. Next, question number 2, that is from the flowers onward. Floriculture deals with option A. Flower, B. Seed culture, C. Fruit, D. Both B and C. Here the right option is A. Flower. Okay, next question. Question number 3. This is the diagram given, and then this part A, B, C, and then D. We must label the parts, and then which one is correct option we should identify. A is filament, and this is the anther, and B is showing style. This is stigma, style, and then ovary. C is ovary, and then D is stigma. So A is filament, B and C both are there, and then B is style, again style both are there for option B and then option C, and whereas C is ovary, and ovary for C, ovary is only one. So here the right option is option B. Fourth question from pistil, megasporangum, and embryo sac. Choose the incorrect statement. Which one is incorrect? Several hormonal and structural changes are initiated which leads to redifferentiation and further development of the floral primordium. B. Inflorescences are formed which bear the floral buds and then the flower. C. In the flower, male and female reproductive structure, the androecium and the gynoecium differentiate and develop. D. None of this. So here the incorrect statement is A. This one is the incorrect statement. Fifth question. Reproductive organ of flower does not comprises A. Androecium, B. Stamen, C. Gynoecium, D. tepals. Reproductive organ of flower does not comprises that which is not present in the as a reproductive organ. Among them, androecium and then stamen and gynoecium are reproductive part only, but the D tepal is not. Next, stamen and microsporangium and pollen grain from the topic stamen, microsporangium, and pollen grain. Sixth question. A typical angiosperm anther is dash with each lobe having dash theca, that is they are dash. This is very important, I can say. This portion, whatever the stamen and microsporangium, especially about the pollen grain, many times many of the questions were arised. This question only they will modify the question type, that's it, but you must have the concept. Okay, so here the first option bilobed 2 and then dithecous, B dithecous 2 lobed, C bilobed 4 and dithecous, D dithecous 4 and bilobed. Here option A, bilobed 2 and then dithecous. What it means? Anther of angiosperm has two lobes. This is the one lobe and this one is another lobe, each with two pollen sacs. Okay, how many sacs are there? Two pollen sacs. Or else you can also call them as a microsporangium also. That's what it is called, dithecous. Okay, this is one lobe and this one is another lobe. Each lobe is having how many thecas? Two thecas. One theca and then two theca. That's what they are called, what? Dithecous. If I am asking you how many microsporangiums are there totally in the two lobes of anther, your answer will be tetrathecous, or else 4 microsporangium are there. Is that clear? That's good. Next, seventh question. Often theca is separated by. What is theca are separated by? A. Transfer groove, B. Longitudinal groove, C. Diagonal groove, and then D. All of this. Here the right option is longitudinal groove. See, this is one theca and this one is one more theca. These two thecas are separated by a longitudinal groove. There will be a groove in the sense like they separate. If I show you here, see, this is the groove, this one. Okay, yeah, in this diagram, this one is the groove. This is transverse section. When we cut like this, that is transverse section. When we cut the anther like this, that is longitudinal section. So when you cut the anther in transverse section, you will get very clear distribution of the thecas. This is one lobe, this is one more lobe. Each lobe is having two pollen sacs, or else thecas, I can say. That's what it is called, dithecous. Okay, so here the right option is option B. Eighth one. The dithecous consists of dash microsporangia located at the corners, dash in each lobe. Dithecous condition and dithecous, two thecas, consist of how many microsporangia? Here we are counting two thecas. He is not asking only one thecus. If two thecus is asking, means 4 microsporangia will be there located at the corners and dash in each. How many? In each, in one thecus, how many lobes will be there? 2 lobes. So here the right option is option C, 4 and then 2. Next question, ninth question. Arrange the microsporangial wall in sequence of outside to inside, outside to inside. Okay, when we take the microsporangial wall, it will be having 4 walls. Outer one, outer single one, and next there will be one more layer, which will be 2 layers. Then next comes about the middle lamellae. Then lastly comes again a single layer cell, which is very important cell layer, tapetum. See, firstly it will be of epidermis, next endothecium, then next middle layer, and then last will be tapetum. Tapetum is a nourishing membrane. Outermost will be epidermis, epi in the sense outer. Next will be of endo, next is of middle. So here like this the arrangements will be there in the microsporangia. So here the right option will be first one, epidermis, is given, middle layer is given, and then endothecium and then tapetum is given. Where is my cursor? Let me take a marker. So here the right option is epidermis, next comes endothecium, next comes middle layer, and then next tapetum. So the right option is option B. 10th one, how many of microsporangial wall perform function of protection and help in dehiscence of anther to release pollen? Option A 1, option B 2, option C 3, option D 4. Here the right option is 3. How many of microsporangial wall perform function of protection? What are they? Epidermis, endothecium, and then middle layer. They perform the function of protection, and then tapetum will be helpful for the nourishment. Okay, so here the outermost 3 layers will helpful for the dehiscence of the anther to release the pollen. Dash is 11th question. Dash is responsible for the nourishment of the pollen grain. Just now I said. So you will guess the right option, that is the tapetum. 12th one. Which of the following undergo meiotic division to form microspore tetrad? A. Sporogenous tissue. B. Generative tissue. C. Microspore. D. A and B. Here the right option is option A. Sporogenous tissue will undergo meiosis to give pollen grains. Here is a trick to remember. Sporogenous tissue, that is MMC, MMC in this is microspore mother cell, will undergo meiosis. The next will form tetrad. After the tetrad, they will grow in the form of pollen. How you can remember? Some mothers make tiny pollen. Some mothers make tiny pollen. Some with respect to sporogenous tissue, mothers is with respect to microspore mother cell, and then make is with respect to meiosis, tiny is with respect to tetrad, and then pollen is with respect to pollen grain. Means what? If in the sporogenous tissue, if I am taking this sporogenous tissue, where it will be, this is the tapetum layer, okay, and then next comes the middle, then next comes endothecium, then next comes epidermis. Okay, this is the outer one, this is the endothecium, and this is middle layer, and this is the tapetum. Then next inside the theca, or else inside the pollen sac, there will be many minute cells which are called what? Sporogenous tissue. Okay, now if I take only one cell from that sporogenous tissue, then that is called what? MMC, microspore mother cell, which is of 2n in number. Okay, and it will undergo meiosis. After the meiosis, let me write here, after the meiosis, they will form, each one cell will divide into 4 in the form of tetrad. That structure is said to be tetrad form. Why? Because they will be attached with each other. After some development, they will be in form of pollen grains. So 1 MMC will give you how many pollen grains? 4 pollen grains. What will be the number of them? The number of the each pollen grain is n, because meiosis is happened. I think this concept is clear for you. So what is the trick you must remember? Some mothers make tiny pollen. Some is refers with the sporogenous tissue. Mothers refers with MMC. Make is referring here meiosis, and then tiny is for tetrad, and then pollen grain. Got it? Yes, that's good. 13th question. See, here is the This one is epidermis layer, this is endothelium, and this one is the middle layer, and this one is the tapetum actually. And these are all are the sporogenous tissue. If one sporogenous tissue or else one microspore mother cell is taken out, it is going to give you what? Microspore tetrad. See here, 1 2 3 4 are there, isn't it? That's what it is called, tetrad, after meiosis. Next, 13th question. The diagram is given and labeled as A, B, E, D and C. What is the outermost one? Outermost one is epidermis. So C is epidermis. C is epidermis means obviously the second option will be right. No need to worry, no need to waste time. If in such condition, if you are very strong enough in that concept and if you are very confident about that, let me cross check. For example, A is tapetum. Yes, of course, because it is the single layer which is nourishing the inner sporogenous tissue. And then what is B? Microspore mother cell, obviously correct. What is D? Endothelium. D is endothelium, right? And then E is middle layer, 2 to 3 layers of middle layer, exactly right. So the right option is option B. So here, trick to remember, EEMT, every exam must test, means E is for epidermis, again one more E is for endothelium, next comes middle layer, and then last comes the tapetum. This is from outside to inside. Okay, this is very most important for, especially for the NEET preparators, the NEET aspirants which are preparing for the NEET 2026. This trick may helpful for you. EEMT, epidermis, endothelium, middle layer, and then tapetum. These three are protective in function, and this one is nourishment in function. Next, 14th question, microsporogenesis. A, process of formation of microspores. B, development of pollen grain from polar mother cell. C, it involves meiosis. D, all of this. So here D, all of this is right, because process of formation of microspore is called microsporogenesis. Here what happens, there will be development of pollen grain from pollen mother cell, which is called as MMC, and it involves meiosis. MMC will undergo meiosis, that's what we get pollen. 15th one, pollen grain represents, what they represents? Option A, male gametophyte. This one is correct, so I will go with that only, won't waste time. 16th one, choose correct about pollen grain wall. Pollen grain wall. About pollen grain walls also many types of questions may arise, may make, and then many times it is arised also. So be careful with the microsporogenesis concept only. First one, it has two layered prominent wall. Second one, hard outer layered prominent wall, correct. Third one, exine is composed of sporopollenin, correct. And then fourth one, sporopollenin forms continuous exine. This one is the wrong. First, second and third are correct about the pollen grain wall, but the fourth one is wrong. Pollen grain forms continuous exine. Pollen grain won't form continuous exine. There will be gaps, and that gap is called as germ pore. So here the right option is option B. 1, 2, 3 are correct with respect to pollen grain, but the fourth one is wrong. Let me explain the structure. This is the pollen grain structure, which is having the outer discontinuous exine layer. Why it is discontinuous? Because the portion where sporopollenin is absent, that portion is called as what? Germ pore, from where actually the content is come out, ooze out in the form of pollen tube when they attach to the stigma. That is another process we will explain, we will discuss with this concept in later sessions. Let me explain this one first. Okay, this pollen grain is having two layers. Whatever the outer one you are seeing, no, greenish color, dark green, that one is exine, and just exactly below to the exine there is a continuous intine layer. Exine is made up of sporopollenin, intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Keep in mind, okay. And this is generative nucleus or else then generative cell, because pollen grain again it is made up of two cells. This is generative cell, this is vegetative nucleus, which is present in vegetative cell, and this one is intine. Light green color is there, no, that one is intine. This whole diagram is actually the pollen grain, which is a male gametophyte. 17th one, sporopollenin is absent in A. intine, B. germ pore, C. exine, D. A and B. I think you people can answer for this question. Yes, exactly, the answer is B. Sporopollenin. About the sporopollenin there is a shortcut and then very simple trick which may helpful for you in the examination to remember, because about the sporopollenin and then about the exam many times questions will be asked. Sporopollenin is toughest natural substance found in the outer wall of the pollen grain. What is the outer wall? Exine. Just now I said about that. And what are the key points that you must remember? Exine is extremely resistant to heat, chemical and enzyme. There is no any enzyme which can degrade the sporopollenin. Protects pollen from damage and harsh conditions, and it is responsible for the fossilization of the pollen grain. It can be stored for the many of the years, and sporopollenin is present in exine layer only, and it is not continuous. Sporo, super strong shield of pollen. It is not only strong, it is super duper pro level strong. Got it? Yes. Next, 18th one. Pollen grains are well preserved as fossil because of A. presence of intine, no. B. presence of germ pore, no. C. presence of sporopollenin, yes. So C here it is right option. 19th one. Sporopollenin is degraded by. Is it degraded by enzyme? No. High temperature? No. Strong acid and alkali? No. None of this. There is no enzyme in the world, I said, or else in the universe, to destroy the sporopollenin. That sporopollenin will be that much strong. 20th one. Inner wall of pollen grain is A. intine made up of cellulose and lignin, and then B. thin discontinuous intine, C. both A and B, D. none of this. Here the right option is none of this. In hurry, what you will choose? You will go with A, because intine is the inner wall. Yes, of course, but where is the twist? Made up of cellulose and lignin. What I said? The intine is made up of what? Cellulose and pectin, not the lignin. So here the right option is none of this. Intine is composed of cellulose and pectin, not the cellulose of lignin. Next, 21. When pollen grain matures, A. it consists of two cells that are two male gamete only. B. it consists of two cells that are generative and vegetative cell. C. it consists of two cells that are two male gametes arise from vegetative cell and one generative cell. D. it consists of three cells that are two male gametes develop meiotically from generative cell and one vegetative cell. So here the right option is option B. It consists of two cells that are generative and then vegetative cell. Just now I explained about the pollen grain structure, isn't it? It has two cells which are called as generative and vegetative cell. So here is the structure of the pollen grain. This is exine and this one is intine, inner one, and it has a larger and then smaller cell. The larger one is called as tube cell, or else you can also call it as a vegetative cell, and then smaller cell is called generative cell. That's it about 21. Next question is 22. Choose incorrect statement among the following. Incorrect he is asking. When the question incorrect will come, please be careful with that. Let me highlight. Incorrect statement. Okay na? So here incorrect statement. A. In over 60% of angiosperms, pollen grains are shed at 3-celled stage. Okay, make this statement complete with adding 3-celled stage. This is itself wrong. B. In over 60% of angiosperm, pollen grains are shed at 2-cell stage. So this one is correct. Both A and B, no. None of this is no. So here the right option is option A. 23. Pollen allergy is not correlated with A. Cause of Parthenium, B. Cause chronic respiratory disorder, C. Carrot grass that comes into India as a contaminant with the imported rice, and then D. None of this. Here the right option is option C. Pollen grain is not related with this one. Next 24. Pollen grain of rice is viable up to. Viability of the pollen grains, if we say it's up to A. 30 minutes, B. several months, C. same as in Solanaceae, and then D. both B and C. So here the right option is option A. Here I am giving some list, so just keep in mind. Rice 30 minutes viability, lost their viability within 30 minutes. Wheat same as the rice. Rosaceae family members maintain viability for months. Leguminosae family members maintain viability for months. Solanaceae family also maintains viability for the months. 25. Which temperature is correct to store semen for artificial insemination? A. plus 196 degrees Celsius, B. minus 196 degrees Celsius, and then C. 34 degrees Celsius, D. 4 degrees Celsius. Here the right option is option B, minus 196 degree Celsius. In liquid nitrogen, we store the semen for the artificial insemination. Next, from the pre-fertilization events, that is structural events. 26th one, Papaver show. First one, multicarpellary. 2, apocarpus. 3, syncarpus. 4, monocarpellary. Here the right option is 1 and then 3. It's a Papaver is multicarpellary and syncarpus. Given diagram is 27th question. Given diagram is of A. multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of Michaelia, B. multicarpellary syncarpus gynoecium of Michaelia, C. multicarpellary syncarpus gynoecium of Papaver, and then D. multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of Papaver. Here the right option is option A itself. It is multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of Michaelia. 28. I think you people know multicarpellary and apocarpus. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part. Okay, multicarpellary means many carpels. Okay, apocarpus means free carpels. See here, you can count the carpels, but they are very many in number. That's what multicarpellary. Syncarpus word is there, no? Sync in the sense they will fuse. but here they are free. 28. Which of the following serves as a landing platform for pollen grain? A. Stigma, B. Style, C. Anther, D. Filament. Here the right option is A. Stigma. 29. Choose correct statement. A. Inside the ovary is the ovarian cavity, also known as lodicule or else locule. B. Megasporangia is commonly called ovule. C. The placenta is located outside ovarian cavity. And then D. A and C both. Here the right option is option B. 30th. Choose incorrect statement. Again incorrect statement. A. The number of ovules in an ovary is 1 in paddy. B. The number of ovule in an ovary is many in papaya. C. The number of ovules in an ovary is 1 in orchid. D. Wheat mango consists of 1 ovule. So here the incorrect option is C. The number of ovules in an ovary of orchid. Orchids has many ovaries. 31. Ovule is attached to placenta by A. Funicle, B. Integument, C. Hilum, and then D. Nucellus. It is connecting with the funicle. Ovule is attached to placenta by a part called funicle. This is the diagram which shows all the parts. This is the funicle. Here there will be placenta. Let me draw. There will be a, imagine this is placenta. Okay, this placenta is connected with the ovule by funicle. This placenta is connected, this is ovule, the entire part is ovule. The ovule is connected with the placenta with the help of funicle. 32. Hilum represents the junction between, hilum, just now see, here is the hilum. This hilum is the junction between ovule and ovary, ovule and funicle, ovule and integument. None of this. Here the right option is option B, ovule and funicle. So this is the ovule. Wait, I will take a pointer. This entire thing is ovule and this is funicle. Hilum is the connection between the junction between the ovule and then funicle. 33. Chalaza end represents A. Basal part of ovule, B. Apical part of ovule, C. Basal part of ovary, D. Apical part of ovary. Here the right option is option A. It's a basal part of ovule, chalazal end. 34. Female gametophyte of angiosperm represented by A. Nucellus, B. Embryo sac, C. Integument, D. B. A and both A and B. So here the right option is option B. 35. An ovule generally has dash embryo sac formed from a megaspore through dash division. An ovule generally has dash embryo sac formed from a megaspore to the dash division. Option A single equational, B single reduction, C 4 meiotic, D 4 mitotic. Here the right option is single embryo sac formed from a megaspore through a equational division. 36. Megasporogenesis is not related to A. Formation of megaspore from megaspore mother cell, B. MMC undergoes meiotic division for megaspore, C. Formation of microspore, D. Both A and C. Here the right option is formation of microspore. See here, this is MMC. MMC undergoes meiosis to give you 4 tetrad. Okay, this is the 4 tetrad, but among them 4, only one which is towards the this side, okay, which is towards the what I can say, chalazal end, that side will be active, and then remaining 3 will be degenerated. After regenerating, that single cell, this single cell will undergo rapid growth, and then next in this single cell, or else a microspore I can say, will go for the first mitotic division, mitosis, equational division. Next, after the equational division, it will be getting 2 nucleus, only nuclear division will be there. Here in the megasporogenesis, what happens, first nuclear division will be there, then next cellular division will be there. After the first mitotic division, we get 2 nucleus. Next it undergoes second mitotic division, so that we will get 4 nucleus. After that we get 8 nucleuses. After the third mitosis, those 8 nucleus will be going to occupy the corners of the embryo sac. From the each corners, 1 nucleus will move towards the center. Okay, this is what actually the process of megasporogenesis takes place. Next, 37. Ovules generally differentiate a single megaspore mother cell in A. chalazal end, B. micropylar region, C. both A and B, D. integument. Here the right option is at the micropylar region. 38. In a majority of flowering plants, A. one of the megaspore is functional while the other 3 degenerate. Correct. All 4 megaspores can develop into female gametophyte in almost all angiosperms. C. 3 megaspores is functional while other one is degenerate. Wrong. So D, both A and B. Here the right option is option A. 39. Monosporic embryo development involves A. one functional megaspore, B. one haploid cell formed in egg apparatus, C. 4 functional megaspore, D. none of this. Here the right option is option A. 40th question. Choose the correct statement. Option A. The nucleus of the functional megaspore divides mitotically to form 2 nuclei which move to the opposite poles, forming the 2 nucleate embryo sac. Next, B. 2 more sequential mitotic clear division in 2 nucleate embryo sac results in the formation of 2 nuclei. C. Mitotic division in embryo sac forms up to 8 celled in strictly free nuclear. And then D. All of these are correct. All the 3 statements are correct. So the right option is here, it is D. 41. How many of 8 nuclei of typical embryo sac is surrounded by cell wall? How many cell wall it is having? 2, 4, 6 and 7. Here the right option is option C, 6 cell wall. Question number 42. Central cell of typical embryo sac is situated A. below egg apparatus, B. above egg apparatus, C. at chalazal end, D. none of this. Here the right option is below the egg apparatus. 43. Choose the correct about egg apparatus of the typical embryo sac. A. situated at the micropylar end, B. consists of 3 cells, C. both A and B, D. consist of all cells having special cellular thickening at micropylar tip. Here the right option is option C. 44. Typical embryo sac of angiosperm at maturity is A. 8 celled 8 nucleated, B. 7 celled 8 nucleated. This is the correct, so here the right option is option B. Trick. 7 to 8 rule. 7 cells will be there, 8 nuclei will be there. Egg plus 2 synergids at the micropylar end, 3 antipodals at chalazal end, and 2 polar nuclei at center. See, this one is the structure. You can also, these are the 3 antipodal cells, these 2 are the synergids, and this one is 1 egg cell, and these are the 2 polar nuclei. That structure is also for this question. And 45th question, this is the structure given. Label the diagrams, label the labeling. A is antipodal, and then B is polar nuclear, A is antipodal, is for everything. B is polar nuclear, D is gone. Next, let us go with D, egg cell. D is egg. D is gone means D is egg. Already C option is also eliminated. And then E, synergids. E, synergids. F, filiform apparatus. F is filiform apparatus. And then C here it is central cell. So the right option is option A. Next questions from pollination portion. 46th question. Pollination is A, transfer of motile pollen to the stigma, B, transfer of non-motile anther to stigma, C, transfer of motile anther to stigma, D, transfer of non-motile pollen to stigma. So here the right option is option D. 47. Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma of same flower is called A, autogamy, B, geitonogamy, C, xenogamy, D, none of this. Here the trick which I am suggesting you to keep in mind, that is auto in the sense self, allo means cross. So here autogamy means same flower, geitonogamy means for in the same plant, xenogamy means for the different plant. Let me explain it very briefly. If I say this is the flower, if pollination, pollen grain from anther of this flower to the stigma of the same flower exposes means, then it is called what? Autogamy. Okay. If the plant is have another flower, okay, if the plant is have another flower, if the anther is releasing pollen grain, if the pollen grain of the anther transfer from one flower to the another flower of same plant, of what? Same plant, then it is called geitonogamy. Then it is called what? Geitonogamy. Geitonogamy is genetically autogamy, but it is physiologically cross pollination. What is xenogamy then? Xenogamy in the sense, if one plant is having one flower, this is one flower, and one more plant of same species has another flower, if cross pollination happens, in the sense pollen grain is transferring from this flower to that flower of same species plant, two different plant, then it is called xenogamy or else cross pollination, and this one is called what? Self pollination. Autogamy is also called as self pollination. Okay, I hope this is clear to everybody. So if he is asking transfer of pollen from anther to stigma of same flower means option will be option A, correct option. Next one, 48. Read the given statements. Option 1, autogamy cannot occur in open flower. 2, geitonogamy cannot occur in closed flower. Choose the appropriate answer. A, 1 is correct but 2 is wrong. 1 is wrong but 2 is correct. 1 and 2 are both correct. So here the right option is A. 1 is correct but 2 is wrong. 49. Complete autogamy is rare in closed flower, open flower, both open and closed flower, neither open nor closed. Here the right option is option B. Flowers that do not open at all are called, the flowers which do not open at all are called A, chasmogamous, B, polygamous, C, clistogamous, D, xenogamous. Here the right option is option C. Clistogamous flowers will never open. 57. Oxalis produce A, clistogamous flower, B, Chasmogamous flower. See, both A and B. D can't say. Here the right option is both A and B. Oxalis is the best example for having both kind of flowers, which are clistogamous also and chasmogamous also. 52. How many of the given characters are necessarily present in clistogamous, that is closed flower? Option Statement 1. Anther and stigma lie close to each other. There is synchrony in pollen releases and stigma respectively. Lengths of anther and stigma are very different. Flower is necessary dioecious. Assured seed set even without pollinators. So here, how many of the given characters are necessarily present in clistogamous means there are C. C is the correct option. First one, second one, and then fifth one is the right one. Next, 53. Geitonogamy is A. Functionally self-pollination and genetically cross-pollination. Just now I said this is wrong. Next, genetically self-pollination, correct. Functionally cross-pollination, this is correct. So option B is correct here. Next, xenogamy is functionally self-pollination and genetically cross. Genetically self-pollination and functionally cross. Cross-pollination both genetically and functionally, and self-pollination both genetically and functionally. So here the right option is option C. Autogamy is functionally self and genetically cross, no. Genetically self and functionally cross, no. Cross pollination both genetically and functionally, no. Self pollination both genetically and functionally. So here the right option is D. 56. Genetically different type of pollen is brought to stigma by autogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy. More than one option is right. Here the right option is C, xenogamy. Genetically different type of pollen is brought to stigma. 57. Here A. Pollination by abiotic agent is a chance factor. Pollen is produced in enormous amount as compared to number of ovules. Choose the best answer. Here the best answer is the B one. A and B are correct and A is the reason for the B. 58. Which is more common abiotic agent for the pollination? A. Wind, B. Insect, C. Water, D. Animal. He is asking abiotic. If abiotic is there means insect is deleted and then animal is deleted. Among them, wind and then water, which is more common? More common is wind. Question number 59. Pollen grain in wind pollinated plants should be A. Heavy and sticky, wrong. B. Heavy and non-sticky, wrong. C. Light and sticky, wrong. D. Light and non-sticky. So this one is the right option. 16th one. Wind pollinated flowers often have dash in each ovary and flowers are after. Here answer is single packed in inflorescence. 61. Tassel in corn cob are A. Filament of anther, B. Stigma and style, C. Reduced leaf, D. Stalk of ovule. It is the answer B, that is stigma and style. 2. Here wind pollination. Wind pollination is for maize. Match the following question, this one. Water pollination. Water pollination is seen in monocots. Biotic pollination. Biotic pollination is seen in Amorphophallus, and then freshwater is seen in Hydrilla. So here the right option is option C. 63. A distribution of some bryophytes and pteridophytes is limited. Reason are transport of male gamete in bryophyte and pteridophyte insect is dependent on water. Choose the correct option. Here the right option is option A. Both are correct, and then R is correct explanation of A. 64. Aquatic plants pollinated by water are given except Zostera, Hydrilla, water hyacinth. More than one option is right. Here the right option is water hyacinth. Aquatic plant pollinated by water are given except this one, water hyacinth. Water hyacinth. Next, 65. Pollination in water lily occurs by A. Water, B. Wind, C. Insects, B. Both B and C. Here the right option is option D, both B and C. Even it is present in the water, its pollination is either it may takes place by wind, either it may takes place by insects. That's the strange actually. Next question, 66. Choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement for pollination in seagrasses. In seagrasses. Option A. Female flower reach surface of water. No. Female flower remains submerged. Correct. Pollen released on water surface. No. Pollen released inside the water. If female flower remains submerged means obviously pollen grains will be released inside the water. And then pollen grains are carried passively by water. Yes, this is also correct. Pollen grains are carried actively. No. Most of the pollen reach stigma. Some of the pollen reach stigma. So this one is also correct. 2, 4, 5 and then 8. So here the right option is option D. Next, 67th one. Choose the correct statement for pollination in Vallisneria. Here, female flower reach surface of water. Female flower remains submerged. Pollen released on water surface. Correct. Pollen released inside the water. Pollen grains are carried passively by water. Pollen grains are carried actively in water. Most of the pollen reach stigma. Some of the pollen reach stigma. Here the right options are female flower reach surface of water is correct. If one is correct means D and then B are eliminated. Female flower remains submerged. No. Pollen released on the water surface. 3 is also correct. 1 and 3. Pollen grains are carried passively by water. Yeah, it is also correct. Most of the pollen grains reach. Some of the pollen grains reach. So here the right option is option C. Some of the pollen reach the stigma. So option C is correct here. 68th one. Requirement for pollen of water pollinated plants are light pollen, 2. Pollen with mucilaginous cover, 3. Non-sticky pollen, 4th. Long ribbon-like pollen. Water pollinated plants, they must have the long ribbon-like pollen and the pollen with mucilaginous cover so that they can float in the water. So here the right option is option D. 69. Majority of angiosperms use dash for the pollination. Wind, water, animals, both A and B. Here the right option is C. Animals, especially insects. 70th one. Identify the given label 1 and then 2. What is this 1 and then what is this 2? 1 is clistogamous flower. Clistogamous means it will never open, so that what happens? It will show self-pollination. And this is the chasmogamous flower, which is going to show you the cross-pollination. This is the best example for oxalis. It shows both self-pollination also, cross-pollination also. So here the example right option is option C. 71. The figure shows, this is the figure of Vallisneria. It is the water pollination in freshwater Vallisneria. 72. Dominant biotic pollinating agents are bees, birds, butterflies and ants. Right option is bees. 73. How many of the following may act as pollinators? Bees, of course. Butterflies, yes. Wasps, yes. Beetles, yes. Leopard, no. Bats, yes. And then pigeon, no. So how many of them? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them can act as a pollinator. 74. Insect pollinator flowers are large, colorful, rich in nectar. Large, colorless, rich in nectar. Small, clustered, fragrant and sticky. More than one option is correct. Here the more than one option is correct. 75. Floral rewards are A. Nectar, B. Pollen grain, C. Both A, B and A, D. None of this. Here the right option is C. Both B and A. Floral rewards means for the flower who is visiting, that is insect, either it may be insect or else any kind of the pollinators. Pollinators, what they get after visiting the flower? They get nectar also, and along with that they get pollen grain. Buy one get one free. They came for the nectar. They didn't came for actually for the nectar. They attracted by the flowers anyhow, but as a reward they got nectar and as well as pollen grain. Next, floral reward in Amorphophallus is the largest flower. A. Nectar, B. Safe place to lay eggs, C. Colorless petal, D. Fragrance to attract insects. Here it is the safest place to lay the eggs. Next, 77. Which of the following statements is true about pronube moth and then yucca plant? Option A. A is dependent on B for life cycle, but the opposite is not true. Pronube moth and then yucca plant, but opposite is not true. No. B is dependent on the for life cycle, but the opposite is not true. C. Both A and B are interdependent on each other for their life cycle. This is correct. So option C is correct. Next, 78. Outbreeding devices are used to prevent A. Self-fertilization, B. Pollination, C. Both self and cross-pollination, D. Xenogamy. Here the right option is A. Self-fertilization. 79. Inbreeding depression is a result of A. Self-fertilization followed by cross-fertilization, cross followed by self, continued cross and then continued self. Here the right option is option D. 81. Self-pollination can be prevented by separation of anther and then stigma in A. Time, B. Place, C. None of this, D. Both of this. Here the right option is D. Both of this. 81. Self-incompatibility is not a genetic mechanism. Positional separation of anther and then stigma, prevention of geitonogamy, more than one option is right. Here the right option is B. 82. Production of unisexual flower on a plant assures prevention of autogamy, auto and then getono, getono only, auto and xeno. So here the right option is A. 83. Monoecious plants assure no autogamy, no auto and then getono, no autogamy and getono, no xeno, getono and then xenogamy. So here the right option is A. No autogamy. 84. Dioecious plants assure no autogamy. Here the right option is B, no autogamy and geitonogamy. 85. If a wrong pollen lands on stigma, pollen germinates but pollen tube cannot grow in style. Pollen germinates, grows in style but cannot enter ovary, doesn't germinate at all. Both A and C is right. Here the right option is option D. Both A and C are right. 86. When pollen grain germinates and produce pollen tube, it content of pollen grain is disturbed uniformly. Content of pollen grain move into pollen tube. Content of pollen grain is distributed non-uniform more in pollen grains. Content of pollen grain is distributed non-uniformly more in pollen tube. Here the right option is option B. 87. Filiform apparatus is present at micropyle part of synergid, chalazal part of synergid, micropyle part of antipodal, chalazal part of antipodal. It is present at the micropyle part of synergids. 88. Emasculation is done in male parent, female parent, both male and female, and depends on the projects. It's the right option is B. 89. The emasculated flowers are bagged to protect flower from strong sunlight, protect from rain, protect from unwanted pollen. Yes, this is the right. To get rid with the contamination or else to unwanted pollen. C option is correct. 90th one. If female parent produce unisexual flower, there is no need of emasculation but bagging is needed. Why bagging is needed? To avoid the unwanted pollen grains to expose. 91. Identify the filiform apparatus in given figure. See, this is central cell, this is egg nuclei, and this is also egg nucleus, and this one is the filiform. So option A is right. Next, from the double fertilization, questions are from double fertilization. 92. Pollen tube release male gametes into option A, cytoplasm of egg cell, nucleus of egg cells, cytoplasm of synergids, cytoplasm of antipodals. Here the right option is C, cytoplasm of synergids. 93. Which of the following is incorrect about double fertilization? A, one male gamete fuses with nucleus of egg cell. B, syngamy results into dyad of cell. C, second male gamete move towards polar nuclei. D, triple fusion results into pen. Incorrect he is asking. So here the right option is B. 94. Triple fusion is fusion of third male gamete with polar nuclei. No. Fusion of 3 haploid cells. Fusion of second male gamete with egg cell. Fusion of 3 haploid nuclei. Here the right option is D. Fusion of 3 haploid nuclei. One is one male gamete and other 2 nuclei are polar nuclei. That's what it is called, triple fusion. 95. Which of these is correct? Syngamy equals to triple fusion plus double fertilization. Double fertilization is equal to syngamy and triple fusion. So here the right option is option D. More than one option is right. 96. Central cell after double fertilization becomes zygote, pen, peck and embryo. Here the right option is option C. It becomes peck. This is the peck. Identify the correct label. 1, 2 and then 3. This is degenerating antipodals and this one is peck, primary endosperm cell, and this one is the zygote. So 1 is zygote and then 2 is peck, degenerating antipodal. So option B is right. 98. Identify the correct label. 1, 2 and 3 and then 4. This is heart shape. If I know only one, this one is heart shaped embryo. And these are the cotyledons. And this one is, third one is suspensor, and then first one is globular embryo. So 1 is globular embryo, 2 are there, 2 is heart shaped, and then 3 is suspensor. So right option is option A. 99. The figure shows stages in embryo development in dicot, monocot, gymnosperm, both A and B. Here the right option is option A, dicot. Why? Because it is having 2 cotyledons. Common sense it is. So this is the question from post fertilization structure and events and century question of today's class, day 11. 100th question. Post fertilization includes how many of the following events? Endosperm development, zygote formation, embryo development, seed formation, and then fruit formation. Here the right option is option B, 4. Next, endosperm. 101. Select correct statement. Endosperm develop proceeds embryo sac development. Endosperm development proceeds embryo development. Embryo development precedes endosperm development. More than one option is correct. Here the right option is option B. Next, 102. Endosperm tissue is haploid, diploid, triploid and tetraploid. Here the right option is C, triploid. 103. In free nuclear endosperm, pen undergoes successive nuclear division, PEC undergoes successive cellular division, pen undergoes successive cellular division. More than one option is correct. Here the right option is A. 104. Cells of endosperm tissue are filled with reserve food material for plant cell, reserve food material for embryo, reserve food material for developing zygote. More than one option is correct. So here the more than one option is correct. This one is wrong. Next, 105. Coconut water from tender coconut is coconut water in tender coconut is nuclear free nuclear endosperm, and white kernel is cellular endosperm. Here the right option is option C. 106. Endosperm is completely consumed by developing embryo before seed maturation in groundnut. 107. Endosperm persist in mature seeds in castor. From the questions embryo onwards. 108. Embryo develops at micropyle and chalazal and either micropylar or chalazal, neither micropyle or nor chalazal, and here the right option is option A. Next, choose the correct order of embryo development in dicot. Zygote, heart-shaped embryo, mature embryo, pro-embryo, globular embryo. First it will be formation of what? Zygote. Then next the formation of globular, pro-embryo is there. Next globular, then next heart-shaped, then next mature embryo. 110. How many of the given parts are present in dicot embryonal axis? Cotyledons, scutellum, hypocotyle and root cap. Here the right option is option B. How many of the given parts are present in monocot? Cotyledons, scutellum, coleoptile, radicle and root cap. Here the right option is A, all of them. Next, 112. Hypocotyle terminates in A, plumule, B, radicle, C, root tip, D, more than one option is correct. Here the right option is D, more than one option is correct. Next, in dicot embryo, root tip is covered by root cap. In dicot embryo, scutellum is situated towards one side of the embryonal axis. Cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon is hypocotyle in dicot embryo. In dicot embryo, epicotyle terminates with stem tip. How many of the above statement is incorrect? So here the right option is B. 114. In grass family, the scutellum is cotyledon, root tip, epiblast and shoot tip. Here the right option is option A. Next 115. Identify the given figure. This one is 1 and then this one is 2. Here the first one is embryo of grass, is embryo of dicots, is embryo of monocot. More than one option is right. Here the right option is C. Identify the correct label. 1, 2 and then 3. First one is cotyledon, no plumule hypocotyle. Radical, no, it is actually hypocotyle. So option C is right. Identify the correct label. 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Here the one is epiblast. So epiblast is in the 2A and B. And then second one is scutellum. Third one is root cap. And then fourth one is shoot apex. So right, the option is C. Coleoptile is hollow structure, solid structure, sometimes hollow and sometimes solid structure, semi-solid. So here the right option is A. Coleorhiza is hollow foliar structure, undifferentiated sheath. More than one option is right. Here the right option is C. 120. Read the following statements. Seed is final product of sexual reproduction in plants. Seed is fertilized ovule. Correct. Seed is formed inside the fruit. Correct. Seed consists of seed coat, cotyledon and embryonal axis. How many of the statement is incorrect? Here every statement is correct, so no one is incorrect. 121. Non-albuminous seeds have residual endosperm, retain a part of endosperm, is found in castor. None of this. Here the right option is none of this. So non-albuminous seeds in which endosperm is used up during the development, so absent at maturity. Examples P, groundnut and then B. Trick how you can remember. If non-albuminous word is there, means no food left, so endosperm is absent. 122. Groundnut is, just now I gave the example, isn't it? Groundnut. So you will answer for this question. I think right option is option B. Albuminous seeds: castor, maize, wheat and coconut. How to remember? A. Albuminous first alphabet is A, right? Here what happens? Available of the food. So here endosperm is present, there endosperm is absent. Next 123. Perisperm is A. persistent nucleus, B. found in beach, C. residual endosperm. More than one option is right. Here the more than one option is right. 124. Integument of ovule mature into A. ovary wall, B. pericarp, C. seed coat, D. perisperm. Here the right option is option C, seed coat. Micropyle is absent in seed, present inside seed, present on surface of seed, present on the seed coat. Here the right option is D. 126. Micropyle plays very important role for stalk for seed, scare for stalk, facilitates entry of water into seed, facilitate escape of the seed metabolites. So here the right option is right. Option is option C. Next question number 127. Mature seed has more water content and more metabolism, less water content and more metabolism, less water content and less metabolism. So this one is the right. Option C is right. 128. The embryo in a mature seed germinates essentially, may enter dormancy, always enter dormancy first, followed by the germination. Both B and C is right. So here the right option is B. 129. Choose the correct match regarding the maturing of flower into fruit. Wall of ovule is pericarp, nucellus is periderm, ovary is seed, none of this. Here the right option is D. 130. Fleshy fruit is mustard, groundnut, guava, more than one. Right option is guava. In false fruit, select incorrect statement. Floral parts over than ovary are involved. Thalamus may contribute to fruit formation, right? Examples includes apple, cashew and then groundnut. Fruit doesn't develop from the ovary. So here the right option is wrong option is C only, but I made mistake here, so make it correct. 131, option C is incorrect statement, so the right option is option C only. 132, which of these is incorrect about parthenocarpy? Plant formed without fertilization. Banana is example correct. Induced by application of growth hormones, such fruits are seedless. Yes, so here plant formed without fertilization. 133, identify the endosperm in the given. This portion is endosperm, so right option is option B. Next question, 134, identify cotyledon in the given figure of this seed. Cotyledon, here the cotyledon is 1. This one is cotyledon. Identify scutellum. Scutellum, here the right option is 4. 136, the given figure shows eucarp of apple and then litchi, pseudocarp of apple, litchi, eucarp of apple and strawberry, pseudocarp of apple and strawberry. So here the right option is D. 137, in angiosperms, pollination and fertilization are both independent of water, both dependent of water, only pollination is essential on water, only fertilization is dependent on water. Right option is A, both are independent of water. 138, for storage of seeds, dehydration is important, dormancy is important, neither dehydration nor dormancy is needed, both dehydration and dormancy are crucial. Here the right option is D. 139, the oldest yet viable seed found is lupinus from Arctic tundra, phoenix from Arctic tundra, lupinus from King Herod's place, phoenix from King Herod's place. Here the right option is A. 140, Phoenix dactylifera is commonly known as fig, coconut, cashew and none of this. D, none of this. Apomixis and polyembryony. Apomixis is fruit without fertilization, seed without fertilization, plant without fertilization. More than one option is right. Here the right option is seed without fertilization. Apomixis is a form of sexual reproduction that mimics asexual reproduction. A form of sexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction is correct. 143, apomixis is found in Solanaceae, Liliaceae, Asteraceae and Brassicaceae. Right option is Asteraceae. 144, mango contains multiple ovaries in a flower, multiple ovules in an ovary, multiple embryo in an ovule. More than one option is right. Here the right option is C. 145, what is the major constraint associated with hybrids? A, hybrids are not accepted by farmers. Hybrids are costly. Hybrid seeds have to be produced every year and these seeds from hybrid cannot be sown. More than one option is right. Here the more than one option is right. 146. What is the problem with sowing seeds from hybrid plant? Seeds will not germinate, progeny will be unhealthy, hybrid characters will be lost due to segregation. D. All of this. So here the right option is C. 147. Apomixis is defined as formation of embryo without fertilization, formation of seed without fertilization. So here the right option is option A. 148. Which of the following is an advantage of apomixis in crop plant? A. Increases genetic variation, maintains hybrid vigorous cross generation, promotes cross pollination, reduces seed formation. So here the right option is B. 49. Polyembryony refers to formation of many fruits from one flower, development of more than one embryo in a seed, formation of embryo without fertilization, fusion of multiple gametes. Here the right option is option B. 150th question. In citrus and mango, polyembryony occurs due to multiple fertilization events, synergids forming embryos, nuclear cells forming embryos, antipodal cells dividing. Here the right option is option C. So this is the last question of today's class, that is day 11 of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. If you have any of the comments, you can comment me in comment box, and we will discuss in the next session with the new chapter, and then very interesting chapter with very tricks and then shortcuts. Bye for today. Bye bye. Thank you.